Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to this week's 3, 2, 1s. 3 comments, 2 minutes, 1 insight. Last week, I remind you all, of course, we're going to wear white on Yom Kippur. This week, we get the beginning of the end of the Torah. Moses begins his very last speech, and he begins by saying, "You saw everything that God did for you. You saw how he took you out of Egypt, how while you walked, you never wanted for food, and that at every moment your clothes, everything lasted perfectly for our 40 years of wandering." He says, "Therefore, obey the Lord your God." Every part of that is false. This generation didn't see the wonders in Egypt. Certainly they saw wonders in the wilderness, but not in Egypt. Second, it was not easy. If they had all the food they wanted, the people wouldn't have complained. They complained all the time. There wasn't enough food, there wasn't enough water. So what are we talking about? And lastly, therefore, obey the Lord your God. Only because God gave us stuff should we be loyal to the creator of all of existence. So what is going on here? What is the insight that we take away from each of these three, at the very best, positive spins, if not outright lies, to the people of Israel? I think the insight is that actually the story matters more than the facts. We as humans are often desperate to know what really happened. I want the exact perspective. But actually what matters most is what we take away from what happened. How do we see and tell ourselves about what happened? The things Moses said are fudging, not exactly correct, but they begin to tell a story of a God who loves us. And that is a deep truth. That is a real thing. Why should we obey God? Because God loves us. God chooses us. We are God's people. So here is the challenge. As we go through life and constantly ask ourselves and wonder what really happened for pretty much anything, can we push ourselves to ask what matters about what happened? What story am I telling myself and my loved ones? And how do I tell that story in a way that brings us all closer to the divine? With that, I'll say Shabbat Shalom. Rosh Hashanah is coming real soon. Shana Tova.